Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Love, Life and Faith with me, Dr. Abigail. I feel truly blessed to hear your individual stories of how these episodes are bringing answers to your questions. And yes, I'm still focusing on family life, but today's episode requires parental guidance. Yes, as I will be talking about the increasing problem of sexual malpractices, which is destroying families and homes at an alarming rate. I will focus on adultery and more specifically on pornography when this infiltrates the home and its devastating effect on the individual and their family life. Again, I know it's a tough one, folks, but get ready for some hard truths. My aim is to create awareness which will serve as an important step in the process of dealing with this problem. So let me begin by saying, when God created the family, He created sex between husbands and wives as a perfect and beautiful experience, both physically and spiritually. The sexual union between a man and his wife pleases God. But oh boy, how man and the devil has perverted sex to the point that the original design and purpose is almost completely lost. God's purpose for giving us sex in marriage is that the husband and his wife may enjoy its many blessings. First, enabling a oneness of the married couple's spirits and souls, and also that the couple can go on to give birth and raise godly children who will become godly adults that rule on the earth. So you see, sex is both a beautiful and a very important part of marriage and family life. Sex has always been the issue and craze not only of our generation, but of past generations too. Sexual sins have remained a major cause of divorce, addictions, loss of identity, and many heartaches, destroying many souls. The abuse of sex has consumed nearly every culture of the world. Many cultures of the world have accepted sexual malpractices that are against God's original intent. Even some cultures glorifying practices such as having multiple sexual partners, abortion, child abuse, homosexuality, adultery, and pornography, like I said, which I will focus on in today's episode. I'm saddened by the alarming number of women who are suffering from the effects that adultery and pornography is having on their marriage. The truth is that many in society today see absolutely nothing wrong with perverted sex, such as pornography, daily masturbation, sex with other people, prostitution, you name it. They see nothing wrong with it. What most people don't know, or some may even be aware but choose to ignore, is that indulging in any kind of sexual perversion is planting seeds of destruction, both for the individual, their marriage, and even their children. So, what effect does pornography and adultery have on the family? For this is my focus. Many men and women who live a reckless life with no regard for the sanctity of sex in marriage have created many human casualties along the way, including divorced mothers, children of divorce, children born out of wedlock, many broken family relationships, and souls destroyed along the way. So you ask me, why talk on pornography? Because it continues to be a real problem even in Christian homes. A rising problem, in fact. To give you an idea of the scale of the problem, it has become a billion-dollar industry. Women and men giving their body to be photographed and video recorded to be sold to people for the pleasure of getting a sexual arousal and climax. It has become a substitute for a physical relationship. Pornography is the modern day ability to have multiple partners. I'm talking hundreds, even thousands. And its destructive effect is just as severe as committing physical adultery. Pornography has been described even as the silent family killer. Well, why silent? The deception is that it is watched as a private sexual experience, that there is no physical contact. So people are asking, how can it hurt my family? So let me share some devastating facts about pornography you may or may not be aware of. These are key findings by the researcher Patrick Fagan, a psychologist in the United States who looked at the effect of pornography on individuals, their marriage, their family, and the community. And here are his key findings. Number 1, pornography correlated with an increase in infidelity of more than 300%. Number 2, 56% of divorces involved one party having an obsessive interest in porn. Married men who are involved in pornography feel less sexually satisfied with their spouse and less attracted to their spouse. So wives notice the difference and are upset about it. Many wives begin to feel unattractive and sexually inadequate. Another fact, more than half of those engaged in cybersex lost interest in sexual intercourse. 1/3 of their partners also lost interest. Pornography is addictive. Users become desensitized and tend to seek more extreme types of pornography, including viewing aggressive behaviors and rape. Men are 6 times more likely to view pornography as females, and they spend more time viewing it. When brains are scanned while viewing pornography, the brain reactions were similar to a cocaine addict's brain while viewing other cocaine addicts using cocaine. Did you know that child sex offenders are more likely to distribute regularly and view pornography? Pornography use alters sexual attitudes and behaviors, and we know that adolescents who are exposed to high levels of porn had lower sexual self-esteem and are more likely to have sex with non-romantic partners. Wow, wow, wow. What a statistic. How many people are just destroying themselves and the life of others by this seemingly private experience? Make no mistake, the pleasure is deceiving. People are deceived into thinking you're in control, but it's more like the temptation to take drugs. It gives a short-lived satisfaction that does not last, and it is always demanding another taste, but this time a little bit more. The truth is, you're not in control. The fantasy controls you. It starts with soft porn, and before you know it, you are into territories and behaviors you didn't bargain for, which eventually destroys the person. So there you have the fact, and you can begin to appreciate the magnitude of the problem that pornography and other sexual sins are having in homes. So at this point, I'm sure you're asking, how can we deal with this problem? Well, you'll have to join me next week for part 2 of this talk, where I will draw out some key principles that will help us to begin to deal with the problem of sexual sins and its devastating effect in our homes. Once again, I'm Dr. Abigail. This is Love, Life and Faith. Life is a gift from God. Live every day by faith and love it. See you next week.